All right, here is how you solve a system by elimination. A system of two equations with two unknowns. And all of these systems can be solved with elimination. Just sometimes it's easier to do it with graphing, sometimes it's easier to do it with substitution. Uh, I really like elimination. So here you can just decide what we should solve for first or what we can eliminate first. It doesn't matter. You just do the easiest one or the more complicated one because it's not really complicated at all. I'm just going to decide right now to get rid of the x's first. So to get rid of these x's, I'm going to multiply. It's not easy to get these to be the same number by just multiplying one of the equations by a number. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by 5 and the bottom equation by 3. That way, both of these coefficients of the x's are going to be the same. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to multiply one by a negative so I can add these together to get rid of the x. You'll see. Now, you don't need to do that. You can, with elimination, you can either add or subtract the systems to get rid of a variable. I always like to add, so I'm going to get one of the variables in question, the x's, for the x's to be negative. So again, this is my plan. I'm going to multiply this one by 5. Multiply by 5, and I'll get 15x plus 30y equals 35. Now, this won't always work out very nicely, but that's just the nature of it. I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 3 to get that x to be, that coefficient, the x, to also be 15. But I'm going to use negative 3 because that way it will be negative 15x when I multiply it. And then when I add these two equations together, they'll cancel out, which is the whole point. So keep multiplying the rest of the equation. So minus 21y and then equals a positive 3. And now I can just add, and that's going to eliminate the x. (15x) plus negative 15x is 0. So keep adding. 30 plus negative 21 is 9. And then 35 plus 3 is 38. So y equals 38 over 9. So that's y. Now we have to solve for x. Now what you can do is plug this y in for either one of these equations and then solve for x. But then you're going to have to deal with fractions, and I thought elimination was so simple. Let's just do the whole process again, but this time get the y's to cancel. So you don't have to do it again. Again, you can substitute this y in for either of these y's and solve, but I think elimination is so simple, might as well keep doing it that way. So now if we want to get the y's to cancel, I'm going to multiply the top one by, I need these to get this to be the same numerical value, so I'm going to multiply the top by 7. So I'll have 21x plus 42y equals 49. So that allows me to multiply the bottom by 6. So you can see you're always multiplying the top and bottom by the opposite. Not always, but say if this were a 6 and this were a 2, then I could multiply the bottom by 3 and just leave the top alone. But that's not the case. But you'll get used to that, or you may already be used to it. But anyhow, I digress. I'm multiplying the bottom by negative 6. So I will get negative 30x and then minus 42y. So I've done it. I'm going to eliminate those y's, equals positive 6. And then add these together. I'll have negative 9x. The y's are eliminated, and that equals 55. So that means x equals negative 55 over 9. So now I'm going to check my answers. You can check your answers by plugging in x and y, obviously, into both these equations to make sure the top one equals 7 when you do, and the bottom one equals -1 when you do. You can also use your graphing calculator, solve both of them for y and find the intercept, or you can use a program. I'm going to use Desmos.com. The reason why I'm going to use Desmos is because, unlike the graphing calculator, you don't have to solve them for y, you can just plug them in. The equations I'm talking about. So before I do that, 38 divided by 9 is 4.2 repeating. That's what y is. And -55 divided by 9 is -6.1 repeating. So my goal is to get those in my graphing software. So hold on a second. I did this in advance. Here is Desmos. And you can see I just plugged in these equations up here, just as they were. So again, with the graphing calculator, I have to solve them for y equals. Desmos, all you just plug them in as they are. So that makes it a little bit easier. And you can see that the intersection point is up to the upper left. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And for Desmos, all you really have to do is move your cursor over to the intersection point, click it, and it will go right to the intersection point. -6.11 or -6.1 repeating and 4.2 repeating. So that's X and Y. That verified my results, and I am done. So there's a nice elimination example for you.